Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, welcome to a new episode of Target English Grade 9, Module 2, Unit 6. The title of this unit, as you all know, is Cultural Attractions. And in this episode, we are going to cover and tackle the reading comprehension related to this unit. As you all know, it is the last episode to discuss reading comprehension in the first term. Let's revise all the reading comprehension strategies that we took in the previous episodes. First of all, how can we identify the main idea of a text? The main idea is the thought that is presented from the beginning until or to the end of the text itself. While finding out the main idea, ask yourself the following questions while reading the text itself. What idea is coming to most of the text? What is the idea that relates the parts to the whole, where you choose and pick up pieces to form a big, clear picture? What opinion do the parts support? Which brings us to the topic sentences and the supporting ideas of the topic sentence itself. Where can we find the main idea of a text? Main ideas are often found at the beginning of paragraphs. The first sentence often explains the subject being discussed in the passage. Main ideas are also found in the concluding sentences of a paragraph. Second, let's revise the basic rules for pronoun reference. First of all, a pronoun takes the place of a noun, as you all know. Thus, the pronoun must agree in number with the noun it refers to. If the noun is singular, then the pronoun also must be singular. Well, if the pronoun is plural, yes, then the noun also must be plural. The pronoun must agree in person with the noun it refers to. For example, if the pronoun is he, then the noun must be a male. If the pronoun is she, and then the noun must be a female or a girl. Third, let's revise the difference between explicit and implicit information. What is an explicit information? It is something that is directly or clearly stated. Explicit information means that the information is written in front of you. You can see the answer directly. It is in front of you. This is the opposite for implicit information. Something that is not stated directly or clearly in the text, but the reader understands the information based on other clues in the text. So, implicit, that the answer is not in front of you, but looking at different tips, looking at different sentences, looking at different ideas, you understand and grasp the meaning or the clue of the text itself. So the explicit is clear. Implicit, it is, we don't want to say it is not clear, but you have to look for further information so you can understand the clear picture. Fourth, let's revise the criteria of guessing the meaning of unfamiliar words. First of all, we need to examine the immediate context of the word, which means the sentence in which it appears and words which come before and after it. As you all know, in the previous episode, I've talked about it several times. If you don't know the word, don't just stop and stare at the word. No. Look at the sentence or the words before the word itself and after the word itself. Examine the wider context of the word, i.e. other sentences in the paragraph. If you still didn't get the meaning of the word from the sentence itself, go wider. Try to search for the meaning from the sentences that are before the actual sentence. Look at the structure of the word, i.e. the prefixes, the suffixes, infixes, or roots. For example, you have a root, the word root. We can add a prefix, we can add an infix, and we can add a suffix to the word itself. And as you all know, this may change the meaning or the category of the word itself. Finally, let's have a look at the reading comprehension types of questions. The first type is the MCQ questions. It is an acronym for multiple choice questions. We have to choose A, B, C, or D. These types of questions, the first one is the best title. What is the best title? What is the main idea of the paragraph or of a paragraph? Unfamiliar vocabulary, synonyms and antonyms of words that are presented in the text itself. Word reference, which is like the pronouns. Locating explicit information and extracting implicit information. And the purpose of the writer or the moral lesson of the text itself. The second type of questions are the productive questions, explicit and implicit questions and information. We also have some tips for reading comprehension. Let's share the tips with you, my dear viewers. The first tip for today is to have a look at the questions before reading the passage. Look at the questions so you can understand the nature of the question before reading the text itself. And then once you read the text, go back and reread the questions to answer them correctly. Read the first sentence of each paragraph. And as you all know, this can help us to have an idea of the paragraph itself. Pay attention to transition words. When you come across a difficult word, try to guess its meaning from that context. And we talked and we elaborated on this tip in the previous slides. Go back and reread after you have read the question. Also, as I told you before, double check your answers. And now, let's apply the previous criteria on the new text that is presented in our student's book, page 46, under the title of Cultural Attractions. And as you can see, this text is an expository text. First, read the initial sentences of each paragraph. Paragraph 1, the highest point in Kuwait, Mutla' Ridge, is a perfect place for camping and hiking. It is a steep slope of rocks and one of the geological features of interest in the country. This area is great for mountain biking during winter because of its hard, packed ground. And as you can see, there are pictures of Mutla' Ridge. Paragraph number 2. It is an unusually extraordinary museum in Kuwait City, displaying the creativity and energies developed inside the building. The exterior walls of the House of Mirrors are covered with murals of mirror mosaic. And as you can see in front of you, my dear viewers, these are some pictures of the House of Mirrors. Paragraph number 3. This impressive museum should not be missed. It houses a great collection of items from different countries, such as musical instruments, silver and gold jewelry, costumes, and pearls, which is the Tariq Rajab Museum, which is located in Jabriya. Paragraph number 4. Several museums in Kuwait exhibit the great history, art, artifacts, and much more. Sadu House is a prodigious museum that depicts Bedouin crafts, namely Sadu weaving. And as you can see also in front of you, these are pictures of Beit al-Sadu or Sadu House. What is the purpose of an expository text? Well, as you all know, an expository text is an informational text that explains something to the reader. So the author's purpose is to inform the reader about something, to give the reader information about something. It's time to practice your reading comprehension skills. Are you ready, my dear viewers? I'm sure you are. Now, choose the correct words from A, B, C, and D. What is the best title for this passage? Is it biking areas, unknown places, splendid mirrors, Kuwait attractions? As you all know, the best title needs, so you can understand the main idea of the whole text. And the whole text talks about several places, several cultural attractions in our beloved country, Kuwait. So the answer is Kuwait attractions. Excellent job, my dear viewers. Number 2, the antonym of the word prodigious in the 4th paragraph is another word or similar word to the word prodigious. Several museums in Kuwait exhibit the great history, art, artifacts, and much more. Sado House is a prodigious museum that depicts Bedouin crafts, namely Sado weaving. It is located next to the National Museum of Kuwait. So, an antonym for the word prodigious in the 4th paragraph is amazing, wondrous, ordinary, marvelous. They want the antonym, the opposite of the word prodigious. We don't want the similar, we don't want the synonym, no, we want the opposite, the antonym. So the antonym for the word prodigious is ordinary, because prodigious means amazing, it means wondrous, it means marvelous. These are all considered to be synonyms for the same word, prodigious. So the opposite or the antonym is the word ordinary. Question number 3. The underlined pronoun it in the 3rd paragraph refers to, as you can see in front of you, we have the paragraph 3. The museum is a private collection of antiques by Tariq Rajab and his wife. It is easily identified by its entrance, a carved wooden doorway flanked by 2 smaller doors on each side. So it, as I told you, in this type of question, you have to look at the sentence before so you can understand the pronoun it refers to who or to what. Let's read. The museum is a private collection of antiques by Tariq Rajab and his wife. It, does it refer to collection, Tariq Rajab, wife, museum? The answer is, as you can read from the previous sentence, it is stated in front of you. The museum is a private collection of antiques. It is talking about the museum itself. Number 4, according to the text, all of the following statements are true except we have the first statement is Beit Sado is still an old Kuwaiti house. The lowest point in Kuwait is Mutla' Ridge. There are many museums to visit in Kuwait. Each piece in the House of Mirrors symbolizes a unique meaning. We have here 4 statements. All of them are correct. One of them is incorrect, or it is false. Which one is it? The answer is Beit Sado is still an old Kuwaiti house. Well, if you read the text, it says that it is not an old Kuwaiti house. They converted it. Number 5. What is the purpose of the writer in writing this text? What is the purpose? Is it to advertise some different restaurants? To explain why people should travel abroad? To raise awareness of keeping Kuwaiti deserts clean? Inform us about cultural attractions in Kuwait. The purpose, what does the writer want us to know, or what is the information that is given to us by the writer? He is trying to, exactly, excellent job. He is trying to inform us to tell us about cultural attractions and places to visit and for tourists to visit in Kuwait. Answer the following questions. Why is Mutla' Ridge a great place for biking? The answer is stated in front of you in the text itself. As you can see, this area is great for mountain biking during winter because of its hard-packed ground. So the answer is in front of you. You just need to read the text to locate the answer. This is the type of explicit information, information that is in front of you. Question number 2. Sadu House or Beit Sadu is no longer an old place. Explain. This is an implicit question, which means that you have to read the text and you have to put pieces together and try to come up with the clearer picture. Sadu House or Beit Sadu was previously an old Kuwaiti house which has been converted into a cultural center. So it gives you, it doesn't say that it is no longer an old place. No, it states that it is or it was converted into a cultural center. In this episode, we practiced reading an expository text for detailed information in Unit 6, and we tackled different reading comprehension activities. My dear viewers, thank you all for viewing. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.